Assalamualaikum students, this is me from UA code 127.0.0.1. Students, hope you are good and doing well in your life. From my channel, you learn different CTF and different tools related to the Kali Linux. Before start my today lecture, I would like to say you kindly subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of all my upcoming lecture. Students, as usual, today I am going to work on another machine from TryHackMe. This is cross-site scripting. This is the part of Junior Penetration Tester. It's a new learning path that TryHackMe launched, and today I'm going to work on first machine from Junior Penetration Tester. So in this walkthrough, you learn about how you can detect and exploit XSS vulnerabilities, and from these vulnerabilities, how you can actually control of other visitor browser. So students, I will move step by step. I have already run my target machine, and attacking machine is also open. So from the task 1, here you can see some brief description about this room is present here. So you can see cross-site scripting vulnerabilities are extremely common. Below are few reports of XSS found in massive applications. Students, here some links are present here. You can check these links. Basically, here you can find different tester, find vulnerabilities in Shopify, in Steam Chat, and HackerOne, and Instagram. Okay, the first question is that what does XSS stand for? Obviously, you guys know XSS stand for cross-site scripting. Okay, let's move to the task 2, that is related to the XSS payload. Students, what is a payload? Basically, it's a JavaScript code, and it will execute it on the target computer. There are two parts of a payload. One is intention and other is modification. Okay, students, I'm not going to read all theory, but you should read in all theory in order to clear your concept. Right now, I will just go through the main points. Here are some example of XSS intentions. Proof of concept. This is the simplest of the payload where all you want to demonstrate that you can achieve XSS on a website. Basically, this is the proof of concept, and you can actually display a cross-site scripting pop-up by using this JavaScript malicious code. Okay, the second one, XSS intention, is session stealing. Before you can see a session stealing payload is present here. By using this, you can use a session of victim. The victim may be logged in any application, then you can use this payload in order to get the steal the session of active user. Okay, below another XSS intention is present, that is keylogger. This is the keylogger script, and business logic, another payload script is present here. Okay, the next 4 tasks are going to cover the different types of XSS vulnerabilities. The first question of this task is this one: which document property could contain the user session token? Basically, when when any user logged into any application, then obviously the session of this user is created. So the following document property, that is document cookie, contain the user session token. Document cookie, actually this is the document property. It contains the active user session token. Okay, what JavaScript method is often used as a proof of concept? Students, basically alert is a method that you can actually use as a proof of concept. Okay, move to the task 3, that is reflected XSS. This is the first type of XSS. It happens when users supply data in an HTTP request is included in the web page source without any validation. In picture you can see an HTTP request is present, and from this URL you can see a parameter is passed here, that is error, and some value is passed this parameter, that is invalid input detected. Okay, a website where if you enter incorrect input, an error message is displayed. The content of error message gets taken from the error parameter in the query string and is built directly into the page source. Here you can see this is the basically picture of page source. Okay, the application does not check the content of error parameter. See here, the application does not check the content of error parameter, which allows the attacker to insert malicious code. This parameter, that is the error, it's not proper sanitized, and the attacker take advantage of this, and then the attacker can inject a malicious code uh, in place of the value of this parameter. Okay, for your understanding, here a picture is present here. Okay, the question, where is an URL is a good place to test for reflected SSS. From guys, from this picture you can see in URL a parameter is present here. This parameter is error, and basically this is the best place where you can actually test the reflected XSS. So the parameter is a good place to test for reflected SSS. Okay, in task 4 I'm going to read about the stored XSS. This is the second type of XSS. As the name infers, the XSS payload is stored in a web application database. Students, in reflected XSS, you can execute the payload in URL, but in stored XSS, the malicious code will be stored in the web application database. In this picture you can see attacker insert malicious payload, and then this malicious payload will stored in the website database. When any visitor visit the website and click on this malicious code, obviously the attacker get all details about the victim. Okay, how to test for stored XSS? Guys, you can test stored XSS from these place. Comments on a blog, any comments placed on a blog, you can put malicious JavaScript code, user profile information. Definitely, when guys you are going to sign up for any application, you have to pay, you have to insert your some information. So in that place attacker can put malicious JavaScript code. Website listing. So these are some common places where the stored XSS could be performed. Okay, how are stored XSS payloads usually stored on a website? Students, from the definition you can see basically XSS payload is stored on a web application in database. In this picture you can see the stored XSS payload are stored in website database. So the answer is database. Let's move to task 5, that is DOM based XSS. This is the third type of XSS. DOM stands for Document Object Model, and it's a programming interface for HTML and XML documents. Okay guys, I would suggest you you should read all detail thoroughly. Okay, how to test for DOM based XSS? Okay, DOM based XSS can be challenging to test for, requires a certain amount of knowledge of JavaScript to read the source code. You need to look for the parts of the code that access certain variables that can attacker have control over, such as this is the variable, and this variable could pass any malicious payload. Okay, when you are found those bits of code, then you need to see how they are handled and whether the values are even written on a web page DOM based or unsafe JavaScript method. That this is the unsafe JavaScript method. Okay, what unsafe JavaScript method is good to look for in source code? EVAL open bracket and close bracket is the unsafe JavaScript script method. Okay, let's move to the task 6, that is blind XSS. This is the fourth type of XSS. Blind XSS is similar to the stored in that your payload gets stored on a website for another user to view, but in this instance you cannot see the payload working or be able to test it against yourself. Okay, how to test for blind XSS? When testing for blind XSS vulnerabilities, you need to ensure your payload has a callback, usually HTTP request. This way you know if when your code is being executed. A popular tool, students, you can use XSS Hunter. This is a very famous tool you can use for blind XSS. Here you can create your account, and some ready-made payload you can get, and these payload you can use for blind XSS. Okay, what tool can you use to test for blind XSS? Obviously XSS Center. Which type of XSS is very similar to the blind XSS? As you say here, as you see, blind XSS is similar to the stored XSS. So the answer is stored XSS. Okay, let's move to the task 7. It's time to do some practical work for perfecting your payload. Okay, I have already run this machine. Students, after this machine is active, I'm going to copy this link and move to my terminal window. I will paste this link here. Okay, this is the actually front look of this victim machine, and here some levels are present here. Right now I cannot move to the next second level or third, as I did not complete the first one. So I should complete the first, then obviously I will jump to the second one. Okay, the aim for each level will be execute the JavaScript alert function with the string try hack me. For example, this is guys string that I can use as a payload. Students, I'm going to copy this from here, and now guys, if I try to put here some name and hit enter, see here it is reflect here. Okay, now if I put this payload, and if I going to view the page source, if you view the page source, you will see your name reflected in a code. Now if I check here Control F, and now if I check here John and hit enter, see here my name is reflected here, hello John, and it's reflected in HTML tag heading 2. Instead of entering your name, we are now using a JavaScript payload. I'm going to copy this from here, and now I will paste this payload. Okay, copy, paste, and now I'm enter this one. You can see try hack me string is pop up. It's mean this malicious JavaScript payload is successfully executed. Now when I click on OK, and let me show you the source of this page. If I try to find try hack me and hit enter, see here this is also reflect in HTML tags, and you will get a confirmation message that your payload was successful with a link of the next level. Okay, now you can see here I'm successfully now can jump to the next level. Okay, when I click on to the level 2, if I put here my name and hit enter, obviously I should check the source code. I will move to my move to check the source code, and now I check. See here guys, now this name is reflect here, but you can see it's reflect in this operator, that is double quotes and greater than sign. Before that the input is reflected in a simple HTML code. Right now it's reflected in double quote and greater than sign. Okay, viewing the page source, you can see your name reflect inside the value attribute of input tag. Obviously you can see this name is reflected in input tag. This is the input tag. Okay, if it would not work if you were to try the previous JavaScript payload. Guys, if I try the previous JavaScript code, that is this one, I'm going to copy this from here, and now if I put this payload that I already used in level 1, if I click on enter, and now if I check my page source, obviously it's reflect in here. Okay, if I refresh my this page, and now if I click on confirming payload, I'm not able to move to the level 3. It's mean that this payload is not worked here. Okay, now if I change this payload simply by adding this operator, that is double quotes and greater than sign. I'm going to copy this from here. Again I will put it and hit enter. See here, it successfully pop up. It's mean that this malicious JavaScript code is executed successfully. When I click on OK and now I click on confirming XSS payload, see here I am able to move to the task 3. Okay, level 3. You are presented with another form asking for your name, and the same as the previous level, your name gets reflected inside in an HTML tag. This time the text area tag. Okay, let me show you. Now if I type here John and hit enter, let me show you the page source. Okay, if I find here John and hit enter, see here this name is reflect here in text area. Before that it was reflect in input tag. Right now it's reflect in text area. Now what should I do when the input is reflect in text area? We all have to scape the text area tag a little differently from the input one in level 2 by using the following payload. It's time to actually scape the text area tag. Okay, I'm going to copy this from here. Okay, now I will put it and click on alert. See here is successfully pop up. It's mean this malicious code is successfully executed. In this way you can actually escape the text area tag. You can see here the payload. This is the similar payload that I used in my first level, but with this I used this tag, that is text area. Okay, when I click on OK and now I click on confirming XSS, see here I'm able to move to the level 4. Okay, now if I entered my name here, it's reflect similar to the level 1, but upon inspecting the page source you will see your name image gets reflected in some JavaScript code. Okay, let me show you. If I type here name and hit enter, let me show you the page source. And if I find this name, see here the name is reflect, but this time it's reflects in some JavaScript code. Here it's reflect in JavaScript code. Now what should I do in this case when input is reflect in JavaScript code? You have to escape the existing JavaScript command. You have to escape the existing JavaScript command so you are able to run your code. Okay, now how could I can actually escape from the existing JavaScript command? Here you can see this is the payload that I used to escape from the existing JavaScript command. I'm going to copy this from here. Okay, here some description is present here. The single quote close the field specify the name, the colon semicolon signify the end of current command, and the double slash at the end makes anything after it comment rather than executable code. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to copy this from here, and now if I put this as an input and hit enter, obviously it will now pop up as it successfully escaped the existing JavaScript code. Now when I click on OK, okay, now click on confirming payload, I'm able to move to the level 5. So guys, in this way you can actually escape the existing JavaScript code. When your input is reflect in some JavaScript code, then you can use something like payload in order to escape the existing JavaScript command. Okay, let's move to the level 5. Now this level looks the same as level 1. When you entered your name, it's reflect, but if you try this one payload, it won't work. When you view the page source, you will see why. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to copy this from here. This is the payload that is similar to that payload that I used in the level 1. See here. Okay, I'm going to copy this from here, and when I put it and hit enter, okay, it's not executed. Here you can see When I click on page source and I click here, I find here try hack me. See here, payload is reflect here, but right now it does not pop up. As you can see, some sanitization is implement here. The word script gets download. You can see here the word script gets removed from your payload. Okay, when I use this payload, actually this word, that is script, is removed from my payload. That's because there is filter that strips out any potentially dangerous word. See here, when I put this payload, only alert.tryhackme is printed, but script word is removed from this payload. Why this is removed from this payload? Because here is a filter that actually avoid to potentially enter some dangerous word. Okay, when a word gets removed from the string, there is a helpful trick. Let me show you the trick that you can actually use. Guys, you can use this payload. Here you can see. Okay, I'm going to copy this from here. Now when I paste this and hit enter, obviously it's pop up. Now basically filter is now cannot work here, as I used this payload. You can see here, when this payload is executed, how is actually worked. Basically when I execute this as with this CRPT will be removed, and the rest of payload, that is this one, will execute successfully. So this is the very simple trick that you can actually use when any filter creates some problem in order to execute the JavaScript code. Okay, it's time to go to the level 6. Similar to level 2, there we had to escape from the value attribute of an input tag. We can try this one. Okay, let me show you. When I copy this from here, okay, I think my machine is turned off. Okay, when I hit entered, and if I check the page source, okay, if I change my payload, when I copy this payload from here, and now in level 6, okay, you can see that these operators gets filtered out from our payload. Here you can see, when I try to execute this payload, then these characters are filtered out from my payload. And let's change our payload and use this one. Okay, if I try this payload and hit enter, obviously it's pop up, and view the page source, you will see how this works finally. Okay, an XSS polyglots is a string of text which can escape attributes, tags, and bypass filter all in one. Okay, let me show you. If I try this payload, When I execute this payload and if I scroll down, you complete all the challenges, and this is the flag from the level 6 try hack me XSS master. So guys, in this task you learn about how you can actually use different payload. Okay, you learn about different payloads, how you can use in order to execute malicious JavaScript code. Okay, let's move to the task 8, that is related to the blind. Before going to the task 8, I should terminate the machine that is from task 7. Okay, in task 8, I will show you practical example of blind XSS. I should on this machine. Okay, first for the last task we are going to go over a blind XSS vulnerabilities. Make sure students you terminate the previous machine and then click on the next machine button to start it. Okay, after this machine is activate, I will click this link. Okay, I'm going to close all these tabs. Task 8 lab will present on this link. Right now it does not display as you see, it's not activated yet. Okay, it's activate now. I should browse this URL in order to do practical about blind XSS. Click on the customer tab, and here you can see sign up form is present here, and click on sport ticket tab, which is the feature we will investigate for weakness. Okay, okay, I'm going to click on customer, and I'm going to sign up. Okay, I'm going to create a new account, and if I click on sport ticket, see here I'm able to create some ticket when I click on create. And now if I create test 1, and if I create TICKT ticket 1 and hit entered, obviously you can see the first ticket is created. When I click on its ID, you can see some information is related to this ticket. Okay, now if I check the source code, and by pressing Ctrl F, and now if I check here ticket 1, see here it's reflect, and it's reflect in text area. See, it's reflect in text area. Okay, now it's time to actually use the text area payload that you learned in previous task. I'm going to copy this from here, and now if I click on dashboard, support ticket, create ticket, and if I use this payload and I type here example and hit enter. Okay, second ticket is created. Students, basically here two methods are present that you can use. In one method you can use netcat listen in order to get the reversal from target machine. Right now I'm going to the second method. Here I'm going to use the try hack me request catcher. I'm going to copy this URL from here, move to the browser, and now I will paste it here, and I'm going to create a session. This is the code that I'm going to copy it from here, and now okay, this is the payload that I should use. Okay, in place of URL or IP I will use this hash. I'm going to copy it from here and paste it. Okay, now I'm going to copy this payload, move to browser, and now create ticket and test 2, and when I click on create ticket, okay, test 2 is created. If I click on ID, and here you can see I am able to get the DNS information. Okay, right now I did not get the cookie from HTTP request. Okay. Okay, right now I'm able to fetch the HTTP request. When I click on this, here you can see cookie is present. I can copy this cookie from here, and now here you can see a decoder is present, that is base64. And when I paste this cookie value here and decode it, see here, this is the value against this cookie. This is the actual result of staff session cookie, and this is my final answer. In this way, guys, you can perform blind accesses. In this task, you learn how you can actually steal the cookie in order to gain the session of any target user. So students, this is all about my today lecture. It's related to the cross-site scripting. Definitely you will do practice about it. I will come to you with my new lecture. Till that, Allah Hafiz and take care.